Email services are very easy to access, and this is another reason for email's popularity. You can manage email through a typical internet service provider account and a desktop computer, or use a web-based email services which lets you check your message whenever you have web access. Many cellular telephones and pages provide email features too as well. Some email systems can even interact with any telephone and actually read your message to you. Another big advantage of using an email is the ability to attach data files and program files to messages. For example, you can send a message to a friend and attach a digital photograph or some other files to the message. The recipient then can open and use the document on his or her computer. Email, however, is not a real time communication system. This means that once you send a message to someone, you must wait until he or she reads it and sends you a reply. This delay, however, does not stop people from exchanging billions of messages in a year. So every day we are having sending and receiving billions of emails. Understanding an email, the most common way to create, send, and receive email is by using an email program, also called an email client, and an internet connection through an ISP or LAN. Popular internet email programs include Edora, Microsoft Outlook, as we have discussed over here. Email clients read and send email. Outlook, Edora are common names, and we have some other here. We need name of mail server, need username and password. Here Gmail, Hotmail, and Yahoo are online clients. These are the online clients. Offline clients, we have an online clients as well. Netscape, Messenger, there are many others. There are many web-based email services that allow you to send and receive email by using web browsers. Those services will discuss later in the next discussion. We will discuss that how email, understanding an email, that how email works. ठीक है. Email address says what is actually email addresses. So email address are unique address, allows sending and receiving you email messages. For that, you must have a specific username at the rate internet service provider.com, that is hotmail.com or yahoo.com or gmail.com, any other. So if you have an account with an ISP, internet service provider, or if you are a user on a corporate or a school lane, sometimes different institute, organization, universities, schools have their own domain. For example, indus.edu.pk, ikra.edu.pk, invaria.edu.pk, and Sohail University.edu.pk. So there are other many names, local names. Either they have purchased their domain from a Gmail or Yahoo or any other internet service provider, but there are many other local names. So if you have an account with an ISP, or if you are the user or corporate or school LAN or an university LAN, then you can establish an email address. This unique address enables other users to send messages to you and enables you to send messages to others. You can set up an email account by creating a unique username for yourself, which identifies your postal mailbox on the internet. If your name is, for example, Tahir Abbasi, so if, for example, your username might be, you can write down Abbasi Muhammad Tahir or Tahir.Abbasi or Tahir Abbasi, any in an email address. The username usually appears before the internet service provider, host, computer name. The username and the host computer name are separated by at the rate. Then after at the rate, we have internet service provider domain name, that from in which domain I have created my email. So either it is a Yahoo account or a Gmail account or any other. Username and the host computer name are separated by at the rate symbol called at symbol. So if you have an ISP in Gmail, so at the rate Gmail, AOL American Online, so AOL at the rate Yahoo, so at the rate Yahoo. So this is how we .com dot edu dot pk anything. You read this address as Abbasi Muhammad Tahir. This is my username. Then at the rate internet service provider at the rate gmail.com. So this is how you can read your email mess addresses. Then a list server, an application that distributes messages to subscribers. On an electronic mailing list, we have a list of email addresses. Each address gets the email in that condition. So email actions can be create a new message, send an attachment. You have an email and you can reply to those emails. So reply to an email, open the attachments, or you have the email addresses. You can forward those emails to the required persons. Other internet features. In other internet features, news, public board devoted to a topic. There are certain news, lots of news groups discussions are available in which you can chat by using your email address. You can give your feedbacks on those news groups. So public board devoted to a topic, thousands of topics available. Messages are called threads. So whoever is having any specific email, he can share his views or username. You sometimes we have some specific username. Sometimes we share these messages with the help of email addresses. So messages are called threads. Users can create thread. User can comment on already available threads. Need a news reader program. So all these features are available. Other internet features are available. Email and other email and other internet features as we were discussing. So these are some other internet features we can use with the help of some specific usernames or email addresses. Here I am going to describe list server briefly. The most common use of email is when one person sends a message to someone else. List server systems. I'm talking about list server systems. So when one person sends a message to someone else or to a small group, however, email systems can be used to distribute messages to thousands of people at the same time. These electronic automated mailing lists are commonly used to distribute electronic newsletters or bulletin board style messages to a group. For example, you might join a mailing list for people who are interested in antiques or a particular type of music and receive the group's bulletin with your regular email. Members can contribute messages to the group. Two, one type of mailing list is the automated list server or list server, or we can say it list server system allows users on the list to post their own messages. So the result is an ongoing discussion that the entire group can see and join. Hundreds of mailing list discussions used in progress all the time on a huge variant of topics. So this is basically how why we are using list server. I'm going to discuss the internet features. As you all know, the internet is a gigantic network. It can support many different types of services beside the web and email. In fact, some internet services have been available for decades and are still widely used, among which one is news. In addition to the message distributed to mailing list by email, the internet also supports a form of public bulletin board called news. These are tens of thousands of active internet news groups, each devoted to discuss of a particular topic. Many of the most widely distributed news groups are part of a system called Usenet, but others are targeted to a particular region or to use connected to a specific network or institutions such as university or a large corporations. It is not always necessary to use a file transfer protocol client to download files from a FTP site. Web browser also support FTP services. So basically, file transfer protocol (FTP) is actually a set of rules and instructions which helps you to transfer files from one source from source to destination. So, so basically, we can copy this file from a remote computer. FTP client is needed. Sometimes some sites requires a password as well, and it is not necessary that we need always an FTP client. Web browsers, Microsoft or Chrome or Mozilla or different other Microsoft Macromedia, you can download programs and data files directly onto your computer through web browser as well. This type of file transfer usually is an FTP operation and is available through many different websites. FTP file transfer protocol sites provide access to many different types of files. You can find information of all kinds from weather maps to a magazine article housed on these systems. Computer hardware and software companies frequently host their own FTP sites. So how you can so that you can easily download and you can fetch different files and documents you need via file transfer protocol, and these are supported in the web browsers. There is a web browser have the support of file transfer protocol. Although FTP is easy to use, it can be hard to find a file that you want to download. One way to find files is to use article, the researchable index of FTP. The main archive servers at McGill gathers copies of the directories, more than 10,000 public FTP archives every month, and distributes copies of those directories to dozens of other servers around the world. These are actually basically discussions that how many FTP client programs provide archive search tools, and some websites enable you to conduct searches through your web browsers so that you can easily access to the document you want to download, and the web 5 FTP file transfer protocol enabled services available on your browser can help you in downloading your available topic or article you want to download. Then we have IRC, that is Internet Relay Chat. It is real-time communication, multi-users with many channels rooms. Channels are dedicated to a specific topic. All users can read the comments. Internet IRC Just Chat is a popular way for internet users to communicate in real time with other users. Real time communications means communicating with other users in the immediate present. Unlike email that you have sent, and when that person is available, logging to their email addresses, then he was going to reply. In internet relay chat, the person is sitting in at the same time in real time, and he can reply you back at the same time, so you can discuss with the person and on any specific topic you want to discuss, or any other communication you want to communicate, or you can share your messages. So unlike email, chat does not require a waiting period between the time you send a message and the time the other person or a group of people receive the message. IS is often referred to as the CB radio of the internet because it enables few or many people to join a discussion so that they can give the feedback in a real-time environment. Then we have instant messaging. It is again private. Instant messaging is not publicly, it is a private real-time communication. For example, you have your friend's WhatsApp number and you can communicate with your friend privately. So private real-time communication message sent only to listed users. Buddy list contains IM names, window messengers, AOL messengers and messengers, WhatsApps, other WeChats, Skypes, all are the features of are the applications of instant messaging. So basically, instant messaging can be used for the group of peoples as well, but you can or you can try communicate between in a private chat with your specific friends as well, or a specific person as well. So private real-time communication. Internet messaging is a type of P2P, that is peer-to-peer uh, file sharing services that, and peer-to-peer services are popular because they allow people to share files of all types directly from the peer connections available via the peer software. So corporations have adopted P2P technology as a quick means of transporting information without having to have all the information stored in centralized location. So this is why such type of information, instant messaging, P2P point, peer-to-peer file sharing services are important. These file sharing systems are most commonly used by people who want to share or trade music files online. So they use these type of instant messaging or peer-to-peer file sharing services. Other internet services, online services company that offers access by subscription, bank, games and research. These days you subscribe and you can access the all the videos or all the information they are sharing. So subscription access by offer access by subscription so that they have more number of subscribers. Banks, games and research. America Online offers content and internet. So this helps the users get the content. Peer-to-peer, as I have already discussed, services users' computers are connected together. No centralized organization. Anyone can share from peer to peer. User can communicate directly. Users can share files and any material they want to share. So here we will end up with internet, email and other internet services. Now we will discuss e-commerce. So before we will discuss what is e-commerce, we must know what is commerce. So commerce is a part of business in which we will deal about the exchange of goods and services, that is buying and selling, purchase of goods and services, buying and selling, or you can generalize this terminology as the exchange of goods and services is called commerce. Now, electronic commerce, that is the commerce activity we are doing by the mean of electronic equipment, is called e-commerce. So e-commerce, also known as electronic commerce or internet commerce, refers to the buying and selling of goods or servicing using the internet and transfer of money and data to execute these transactions. E-commerce is often used to refer to the sale of physical products online, but it can also describe any kind of commercial transaction that is facilitated through the internet. Whereas e-business, there is a difference between e-commerce and e-business. E-commerce is a part of business, that e-business, whereas e-business refers to all aspects of operating an online business. E-commerce refers specifically to the transaction of goods and services. So business is a used terminology. Under the business umbrella, we have commerce. In a similar way, electronic business is a used terminology. Under that umbrella, electronic business, we are discussing all type of transactions, all type of operations of a business. So we that comes under e-business, and only specific type of activities of e-business, that is exchange of goods and services, that comes under the umbrella of e-business, and a subset of e-business, that is e-commerce. So e-commerce refer to specifically to the transaction of goods and services.